Good morning. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be continuing with the Wastegate journey. As you've seen in the last video, we kind of got the Wastegate flanges welded up to the manifolds. Today we're going to be opening this up and figuring out what springs to go, figuring out what springs should go in here. Being cheap brand Wastegate, there's no instructions saying what spring is what or what is inside here, so it's kind of a guessing game. But since I did use the same Wastegate in my Turbo 4Runner here, I have the springs that I didn't use in the Wastegate, so I'm gonna compare and you know, do some educated guessing here. Looks like I just need to put this small spring in here. So what we're gonna do is just open this up and swap some springs. Alright, so as you guys can see, I don't know what spring is in here. I don't know what this is, but I know this little helper spring you can add in there for resistance. Hi, buddy. These two springs match the springs that I have left over. I'm running the like 5-ish pound setting, and whatever research I had done before, I had found that this is a setup that gave me the lowest Wastegate setting. So I think what I'm gonna do is just start with that. I'm just gonna leave this black spring in here, put this little tiny helper spring in here. I'm gonna make sure that well, I guess this doesn't need to be clocked any direction. It's this port right here. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this back together and get it on the car. Alright, so as you can see, I just removed this guy right here, and so that's usually like that. I don't know, I'm gonna say this is like an 8-pound spring. Then this is maybe 1 or 2 pound helper spring. So you're gonna put this underneath of this, so it kind of counteracts this spring. So essentially it makes it about a 6-pound spring. So yeah, just put the helper spring under there, push this back down, install the little set screws, and reinstall everything. Alright, so we got the Wastegate pretty much set up. Got the vacuum ports on here. Really all it's up to is reinstallation. So I'm going to be putting the Wastegate back on the manifold. I'm going to put the turbo back on the manifold, and hook up the oil feed line, oil drain line, put the radiator line back on, and then maybe we'll move on to some intercooler piping. Let's get to it. Alright, you guys, as you can tell, I got everything bolted back in. Got the oil feed, got the oil drain, turbos bolted in, got the wastegate bolted in. I ran a line right to the turbo there. Now, what I have been working on off camera a little bit is getting this elbow to fit, and I think I have managed to do it. As you can tell, it is very tight right there, and it's not touching, luckily, but it is very freaking tight. What I ended up doing to make that fit is remove this radiator mount, and then there's actually, you can't see it now because I removed it, but there's a condenser mount right in here, and there's a condenser mount right in here. I took those out, and you can move the radiator, which right now is mounted, but so I modified this a little bit, drilled a new mount hole, and I actually pulled the radiator forward, and then I cut off a little bit of coupler here and made it fit there. And as you can see, there's just barely maybe like 1/8 inch of space there. So I guess that means we can start working on piping. All right, well, as I said in one of the last, I think the second to the last video, we had ordered some intercooler piping and couplers. They came in the other day, so I started mocking these up. I didn't intentionally get red. Black was sold out. But so far I've just kind of temporarily installed everything, and it's super close to fitting. Just, it's not a kit or anything. I just kind of ordered some pieces that I thought would work. So I bought this 90 here, coupler, goes up through the I don't know, there's a little hole there, to the MAF throttle body. So none of that has actually been cut or modified yet. I just kind of put it together. Obviously there's no clamps on it yet, which seriously, when I bought this kit, I didn't buy any clamps, and I don't know how that slipped my mind, but it did. So yeah, clamps are on the way. Anyways, moving forward, like I showed you, I got this to fit. Now this piece will go kind of right up in there, and then I'll shove this in here, and then it should get pretty dang close to mating up to that 90 on the turbo. So I think the only piece that I'm gonna have to modify is this length here on the front side of the intercooler. So I'll probably take out, you know, whatever length this is here. I'll chop out of this here to bring this whole section kind of, you know, towards the center of the car. And yeah, this piece I just had laying around from my 4Runner build, and I think it might be long enough. I'll just clean up the edge a little bit, and yeah, this might actually work pretty dang well. So I'm gonna get this this piece cut up here and see if I can get it completely mocked up. Alright guys, well, I got all the piping mocked up. This whole side didn't really change at all. I didn't have to cut anything for that side. This side, I had a 45-degree 2-foot bend that I cut maybe like a 6-inch section out of this portion here, and mates up pretty nicely. So I guess all we're really waiting on now is some clamps, and other than that, I just have to find a decent way to mount this intake air temp sensor in there, and might be able to make some boost. This is exciting. yeah. So anyways, I think that'll do it for today's video. Thanks for staying with me, guys. I hope you're enjoying this build. It's been fun. It's been a good learning experience. I hope you guys are feeling the same way. Anyways, we'll catch you guys on the next video.
Hey, what's up, you guys? So, for those who don't know, I am Marco, the owner of this Mustang, and yeah.